Top 10 conspiracy theories that actually make sense. What if everything you thought you knew was just an illusion? What if the truth, hidden in plain sight, was stranger than fiction? Throughout history, whispers of forbidden knowledge have echoed through the corridors of power, dismissed as paranoia, until the evidence starts piling up. Today, we're diving deep into 10 conspiracy theories that aren't just wild speculation. They might actually make sense. Some theories are easily debunked, the ramblings of overactive imaginations. But others, they linger. They resist easy explanations. They raise questions that no one in power seems eager to answer, the kind of theories that make you pause, reconsider, and wonder, what if? Governments keeping secrets, corporations manipulating reality, events that seem like coincidences but feel too perfect to be random. The deeper you dig, the more the puzzle pieces start falling into place. And once you see the pattern, there's no going back. Take, for example, the idea that powerful elites might be orchestrating world events for their own gain. Sounds like a thriller novel, right? Yet history is full of moments where the rich and powerful have manipulated markets, toppled governments, and controlled information. Could it still be happening today, or how about technological advancements that seem to leap forward overnight? Is it really just human ingenuity, or something else? Some believe that breakthrough discoveries aren't always shared with the public, hidden away for reasons we might never fully understand. Could there be suppressed knowledge, inventions that could change the world, but never see the light of day? And then there's the question of who's really in charge. We elect leaders, watch their speeches, believe in democracy. But behind closed doors, are they the ones making the big decisions? Or are shadowy organizations, banking elites, secret societies pulling the strings? If you follow the money, the answers might shock you. Maybe you've heard about false flag operations, incidents staged to manipulate public opinion and justify extreme actions. History has proven that governments have done it before. So why is it so crazy to think they might still be doing it today? And let's not forget about those small, seemingly insignificant details that don't add up, the ones buried in official reports, overlooked by mainstream media. The kind of details that, when pieced together, paint a very different picture than the one we're told to believe. So before you dismiss these theories as pure fiction, ask yourself, how much of what you know is based on truth? And how much is just the version you've been told? Get ready, because once we start unraveling these 10 theories, you might never look at the world the same way again. Let's start with one of the most chilling and persistent theories. Governments lying to their own people for control. It sounds extreme, but history proves it's not only possible, it's happened before. Take Operation Northwoods, a declassified plan from the 1960s, in which the US government considered staging terrorist attacks on its own citizens to justify war with Cuba. The plan was ultimately rejected, but the fact that it was even proposed raises an unsettling question. How many other operations have been approved and carried out in secret? If one government was willing to deceive its people for a political agenda, what's stopping others from doing the same today? Then there's the mystery of technological suppression. Ever wondered why certain scientific breakthroughs seem to disappear? Nikola Tesla allegedly discovered wireless electricity over a century ago, yet we're still dependent on fossil fuels. Patents for water-powered engines and other revolutionary technologies have been mysteriously buried, bought out, or labeled as hoaxes. Some believe powerful corporations and governments control what innovations reach the public, keeping us hooked on outdated systems that benefit the wealthy elite. If a free, limitless energy source existed, would we ever get to use it? Or would those in power ensure we never see it? Another conspiracy theory that makes too much sense to ignore is media manipulation. We like to believe that the news presents objective facts, but what if it's more like a carefully orchestrated performance? The media's job isn't just to inform, it's to shape narratives. Major networks are owned by a handful of massive corporations, all with political and financial interests. Stories are chosen, angles are decided, and inconvenient truths are buried. Even social media, once thought to be a platform for free speech, is now heavily censored and controlled. The real question is, if the truth were too dangerous for the public to know, would we ever even hear about it? And what about false flag operations? We mentioned Operation Northwoods, but there are countless other examples throughout history where governments have faked or exaggerated crises to justify their actions. The Reichstag fire of 1933 allowed Hitler to seize power. The Gulf of Tonkin incident led to the Vietnam War under questionable circumstances. Some even speculate that modern terrorist attacks and conflicts may have deeper, hidden agendas. The pattern is clear. Create a problem, offer a solution, and seize control while the public is too scared to question it. Could it be happening right now without us realizing it? Then there's the deep state. Many dismiss the idea as pure paranoia, but the concept isn't new. The idea is that a network of unelected officials, intelligence agencies, and corporate elites secretly control governments, shaping policies regardless of who wins elections. Think about it. Presidents come and go, but certain figures in the military, intelligence, and financial sectors remain in power for decades. Their influence is undeniable. If true, this means democracy is just an illusion, designed to make us believe we have a say, when in reality, the system runs itself behind the scenes. Let's talk about the pharmaceutical industry. Ever noticed how diseases seem to be managed, not cured? The medical industry is a trillion-dollar business, and some believe there's more profit in keeping people sick than in actually curing them. Cancer, diabetes, and even common illnesses, like the flu, all generate massive revenue through treatments and medications. Whistleblowers have claimed that cures or better treatments exist, but are suppressed to maintain financial control. If a cheap, effective cure for cancer were discovered, would we ever hear about it? Or would it be quietly erased before it could change the world? Another eerie theory revolves around mind control and psychological conditioning. We've heard about MKUltra, the CIA's infamous mind control experiments in the mid-20th century. But what if that was just the beginning? Today, through algorithms, entertainment, and social engineering, we are constantly bombarded with messages designed to shape our thoughts and behaviors. Studies have shown that repeated exposure to certain ideas can change public perception. Over time, the way news is framed, the way movies and music subtly reinforce themes, none of it is accidental. Could modern propaganda be so sophisticated that we don't even recognize it anymore? And what about missing people and hidden truths? Every year, thousands of people disappear under mysterious circumstances. Some vanish in national parks, some are whistleblowers who knew too much, and others leave behind cryptic clues that suggest something far more sinister. Certain disappearances seem connected to underground facilities, secret programs, or even strange paranormal elements. Some theorists suggest that classified experiments, human trafficking rings, or even extraterrestrial cover-ups could be behind these cases. If that's true, then the world we live in is far darker than we ever imagined. Then there's the banking elite and financial control. Money runs the world. But have you ever wondered who really controls it? Central banks, the Federal Reserve, the International Monetary Fund. These institutions have enormous influence over global economies, yet most people don't understand how they operate. Wars have been fought over control of banking systems. Entire economies have collapsed under suspicious circumstances. Some believe that a small, powerful group dictates financial trends, crashing markets and creating recessions for their own benefit. If money is power, and power is concentrated in the hands of a few, How free are we really? Finally, we have the biggest conspiracy of all, reality itself. Some theorists argue that our entire perception of the world is carefully constructed. From the way history is written to the way science is taught, we only know what we're allowed to know. What if the truth is something far more complex? What if the very foundation of our reality, our understanding of time, space, and existence, is deliberately obscured? Whether it's hidden technology, lost civilizations, or even simulation theory, the ultimate question remains, are we seeing the world as it truly is, or only the version we've been programmed to accept? These aren't just stories. These are the questions that shake the foundation of everything we believe. Some of these theories might sound crazy until you start connecting the dots. The truth is out there, but are we ready to see it? If these theories have one thing in common, it's this: the official story is never the whole story. The more you look into them, the more you realize that the world operates in ways most people never question. And maybe that's the point. Maybe we're not supposed to question. Maybe we're meant to stay distracted, divided, and doubtful. Because the moment we start asking the right questions, the illusion begins to crack. Take a look at history. Some of the biggest conspiracies ever exposed, like Watergate, COINTELPRO, or the Tuskegee experiments, were once dismissed as paranoid fantasies. Yet when the truth finally came out, it was far worse than anyone had imagined. So what if today's crazy theories are just tomorrow's declassified documents? What if the most unsettling truths haven't even surfaced yet? And let's talk about how these theories connect. They're not isolated ideas floating in a vacuum. If governments have lied before, why wouldn't they do it again? If corporations prioritize profit over human lives, why wouldn't they suppress life-changing technology? If secret societies have existed throughout history, why wouldn't they still be pulling strings behind the scenes? The deeper you go, the more these seemingly separate puzzles start forming a much bigger picture. But let's be clear, this isn't about blind belief. It's not about assuming every theory is true. It's about recognizing that questioning is a necessary part of understanding reality. If you've ever noticed patterns that don't add up, if you've ever felt like there's more to the story than what we're told, then congratulations, you're thinking critically. And that's exactly what those in power fear the most. The real conspiracy isn't just about the secrets they keep. It's about how they condition us not to look. Why is questioning authority ridiculed? Why is skepticism labeled as dangerous? Could it be that the real danger isn't asking questions, but accepting everything at face value? If the world was exactly as they say it is, would they need to work so hard to silence those who think differently? And think about this. If there were no truth to these theories, why do governments actively monitor conspiracy communities? Why do intelligence agencies have entire operations dedicated to discrediting independent researchers? Why do whistleblowers mysteriously vanish or turn up dead under bizarre circumstances? Maybe it's just coincidence. Or maybe some people know too much. If even one of these theories is true, it changes everything. It means history, media, science, and even our own perception of reality could be manipulated. It means we're living in a world where the most powerful truths are the hardest to find. But if the truth is buried, that means it can also be uncovered. The question is, do you really want to know? The people who change history are the ones who refuse to accept easy answers. The ones who dig deeper, challenge the narrative, and dare to think for themselves. If you've made it this far, it means you're one of them. And that means you're already seeing the world differently than most. But the journey doesn't end here. These were just 10 theories. There are countless more waiting to be explored. Some might be stranger than fiction, some might be undeniable reality, and some might be exactly what they don't want you to find out. So here's what you need to do next. Like this video to spread the message. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because trust me, we're just getting started. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these theories shook you the most. And most importantly, share this video with the people who need to see it. Because the more people wake up, the harder it becomes to keep the truth in the shadows. And if you haven't already, check out our previous videos. We've covered some mind-blowing conspiracies, and they might just change the way you see the world forever. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and never stop searching for the truth.